Lily Carter stood near the center of Briar Glen and watched the lanterns sway above the street. The Autumn Festival was the biggest event of the year. Music played from small speakers. Children ran past her with candy in their hands. Couples walked close together and laughed. The air smelled like fried dough and roasted corn. Lily tried to smile, but her mind was not calm. She kept checking her phone. Ethan Brooks was late. He was never late. Ethan liked order. He liked plans. If he said he would meet her at 7, he would arrive at 6:50. She looked at the old clock tower. It was already 7:20. A strange feeling moved through her chest. It was not loud fear. It was quiet, but strong. She felt like something was wrong. Across the street, she finally saw him. Ethan walked fast through the crowd. His dark jacket was half open, and his face looked tense. When he saw Lily, he tried to smile, but the smile did not reach his eyes. Two men walked a short distance behind him. Lily did not know them. Briar Glen was a small town. Most faces were familiar. These faces were not. The men wore plain clothes, but they moved with purpose. They did not look at the games or the food stands. They only watched Ethan. Ethan reached Lily and stopped. "Hey," he said, but his voice was low. "You are late," she replied, trying to keep her voice normal. "I know, I am sorry." He glanced over his shoulder for a second. Lily followed his eyes and saw the two men slow down near a popcorn stand. One of them touched his ear as if adjusting something. The other kept his hands inside his jacket pockets. "Who are they?" Lily asked quietly. Ethan did not answer at once. He looked at the ground, then back at her. "We need to leave," he said. "Why, please, Lily? Just walk with me. Do not look scared." Her heart began to beat faster. She could hear the music and laughter around them, but it felt far away now. She took a slow breath and nodded. They began to walk side by side. The crowd moved around them. The two men followed. Not too close, not too far. "Ethan," she said under her breath, "tell me what is happening." "I made a mistake," he replied.
"Oh."
"What kind of mistake?" He looked at her, and this time she saw real fear in his eyes. "I found something at work. Money transfers. Illegal ones. I reported it. The wrong people found out." Lily felt a chill run down her back. Ethan worked in financial auditing for a large company in the next city. He always talked about rules and numbers. He believed in doing what was right. "And those men, they want me to stay quiet," he said. One of the men stepped closer. Lily noticed his hand move inside his jacket. The space around her felt tight. She understood in that moment that Ethan was not just worried. He was in danger. The festival lights shone bright above them. People laughed only a few feet away. No one else seemed to notice the tension. Ethan slowed down. "If anything happens," he said softly, "you walk away. Do not get involved." Lily stopped walking. "I'm already involved," she answered. The man behind them took another step forward. Lily's mind worked fast. She knew the men would not want attention. They would not act if everyone was watching. She needed to make everyone watch. Before Ethan could speak again, she turned toward him, grabbed his jacket, and pulled him close. Then she kissed him. It was sudden and strong. People nearby cheered and laughed. Someone clapped. A few phones lifted into the air. The man behind them froze. His hand stayed inside his jacket, but he did not move closer. Lily kept her eyes closed and held the kiss longer than she ever had before. She did not know what would happen next. She only knew she would not let them hurt him. The crowd laughed and clapped, thinking the kiss was sweet and brave. Lily kept her hand on Ethan's jacket and stayed close to him. She could feel his heart beating fast against her chest. She did not pull away too quickly. She wanted the men behind them to see that many people were watching. When she finally stepped back, she gave Ethan a look that told him to stay calm. "Smile," she whispered. He forced a small smile. His face was pale. One of the strange men lowered his hand from inside his jacket. The other man looked around at the people holding up their phones. They were not smiling. They looked angry. "Keep walking," Lily said softly. They moved forward again, but this time, Lily held Ethan's hand. She acted like nothing was wrong. She even waved at Mrs. Green, who sold handmade candles near the bakery. "You two look lovely," Mrs. Green called out. Lily nodded and kept walking. After a few minutes, the music grew louder near the main stage. A local band began to play. The sound helped cover their quiet voices. "We need to leave the center," Ethan said. "Not yet," Lily replied. They will not act here. Too many eyes. He looked at her with surprise. "Since when are you this brave?" "Since tonight," she answered. The two men stopped near a food truck. They pretended to look at the menu, but their eyes stayed on Ethan. Lily felt fear rise inside her again, but she pushed it down. Fear would not help. She had to think. "Is there proof?" she asked. "Yes," Ethan said. "I copied files, emails, bank records. I saved them on a secure drive." "Where is it?" "At my apartment." She took a deep breath. "Then that is where they will go next." Ethan's face tightened. "You should go home, Lily. This is not your fight. If they believe I am close to you, they will not ignore me. I kissed you in front of half the town. They will think I know something." He had no answer for that. A group of teenagers ran between them, laughing. The sudden noise made Ethan turn quickly. The two men stepped away from the food truck and began to walk again. "We cannot stay," Ethan said. Lily nodded this time. "We leave through the side street near the library. It is darker, but we can reach my car faster." They changed direction. The lights grew fewer as they moved away from the center of the festival. The sound of music became softer. Lily could hear footsteps behind them. "Do not run," she said. They turned the corner near the library. The street was quiet and lined with tall trees, where leaves moved in the cool night wind. "Get in the car," Lily said quickly when they reached the parking lot. They slid into the seats. She locked the doors at once. Through the windshield, she saw the two men stop at the edge of the lot. They did not come closer. One of them spoke into his phone. "They will not give up," Ethan said. "No," Lily agreed. "But neither will we." She started the engine and drove away. They did not speak for several minutes. The road out of town was dark and quiet. "Where are we going?" Ethan finally asked. "To your apartment," she said. "We get the drive, and we decide our next step." He turned to look at her. "You did not have to do this?" "Yes, I did," she replied. "You chose to tell the truth." "Yes, I did," she replied. "You chose to tell the truth. I choose to stand with you." The town lights faded behind them. Ahead of them, the night felt uncertain and wide. Lily tightened her grip on the steering wheel. She had kissed him to protect his life. Now she understood that the kiss had started something bigger than she had planned. The flickering city lights were a blur outside the rain-streaked window. Lily's heart hammered against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat in the sudden silence of their apartment. Ethan pulled her away from the shattered door, his grip firm. Their home was ransacked, turned upside down by unseen hands. Just minutes ago, two menacing figures in dark coats were right outside, their shadows stretching long and greedy under the dim hallway light. What all started with the drive, a tiny piece of metal now burning a hole in Ethan's pocket, holding secrets someone would kill for. He met her gaze, his own fear reflecting hers. "We can't keep running, Lily," he whispered, his voice raspy. "They won't stop." A shiver traced its way down her spine. But as she looked at him, a new resolve hardened her fear into steel. She nodded. "No," she agreed, her voice steady. "We won't." Together, they would face whatever was coming. The city skyline used to feel like a promise, but for Lily and Ethan, it became a cage. One spreadsheet, one late night at the office, and suddenly they knew too much. The numbers didn't just represent profits, they spelled out a conspiracy that reached the highest levels of the corporate world. Their discovery wasn't met with a promotion, but with a threat. Suddenly, every shadow held a potential danger. Every unknown caller sent a shiver down their spines. They weren't just employees anymore. They were targets. With nowhere else to turn, they drove through the night, the city lights shrinking in the rearview mirror. Their destination, a small town in Lily's cousin Jake. Jake wasn't a corporate shark. He was a reporter, the kind who believed the truth was worth fighting for. When Lily and Ethan spilled their story, a dangerous mix of encrypted files and hushed phone calls, he saw the biggest story of his life. But he also saw the genuine fear in their eyes. This wasn't just about a headline. It was about saving their lives. The three of them worked tirelessly from Jake's cluttered apartment, fueled by coffee and adrenaline. They pieced together the evidence, connecting the dots that powerful people had tried so hard to erase. It was a race against time. With Jake's help, they crafted and exposed a digital bombshell they planned to release to the world. As they prepared to hit publish, the danger felt more real than ever. They weren't just leaking a story. They were declaring war on a faceless, powerful enemy. The moment the story broke, the world erupted. News channels buzzed, headlines screamed, and the corporation's carefully built facade crumbled. The once untouchable executives were paraded in handcuffs, their empire collapsing under the weight of their own greed. For Lily and Ethan, watching it unfold felt surreal. The fear began to recede, replaced by a profound sense of relief. In the quiet aftermath, as the media storm settled, Lily and Ethan looked at each other. They had survived. But through the shared terror, the sleepless nights, and the fight for the truth, something else had grown between them. It was a bond forged in crisis, a connection that went deeper than just survival. They had faced the worst together and come out the other side, not just as allies, but as something more. Their new life was just beginning, built on a foundation of courage and a truth they had risked everything to reveal. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more stories like this. Ever wondered if love could bloom in the most unexpected places? I'm talking about a place filled with spreadsheets, secrets, and a whole lot of corporate jargon. This is the story of Lily and Ethan, two people who found more than just a conspiracy in the sterile hallways of a massive tech giant. Lily was the new data analyst, sharp, intuitive, and a little too curious for her own good. Ethan was the quiet, brooding programmer from the floor above, a guy who spoke more in code than in actual words. Their paths rarely crossed until Lily stumbled upon an anomaly in the company's financial reports. Something just didn't add up. Late one night, buried in data, she found a hidden algorithm designed to siphon funds. It was brilliant, almost untraceable. Who could have written something so complex? Her investigation led her straight to one person, Ethan. She cornered him in the empty cafeteria, expecting a fight, a denial, anything but the weary resignation in his eyes. It turned out, Ethan had discovered the same conspiracy months ago. He was being blackmailed, forced to maintain the very code he wanted to destroy. He was trapped. That night, they weren't just colleagues, they became allies. Fueled by cheap coffee and a shared sense of justice, they spent weeks working in secret. They'd meet in forgotten server rooms and after-hours cafes, decoding files and mapping out the web of deceit. Amidst the hushed whispers and encrypted messages, something else began to grow. Lily saw the passion and integrity behind Ethan's quiet exterior. Ethan was captivated by Lily's fierce determination and unwavering optimism. They were piecing together a puzzle, and in the process, they were piecing together their own hearts. It wasn't about grand romantic gestures, but about the trust in a shared glance across a crowded room, the comfort of a hand on a shoulder during a tense moment. The day they finally went public with the evidence was terrifying. They risked their careers, their reputations, everything, but they did it together. The fallout was huge. The company was shaken to its core, and the culprits were exposed. In the quiet aftermath, standing outside the now infamous office building, they weren't just the whistleblowers who took down a corporate giant. They were Lily and Ethan. Their adventure started with a digital lie, but it led them to the most genuine truth of all: love. Sometimes you have to decode the world's problems to find the person you were meant to be with. What do you think? Can true connection be found anywhere? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.